The 2001 Redbird machine has been primarily fueled by rookies, most notably Albert Pujols. This remarkable rookie leads the Cardinals in all major offensive categories. His Triple Crown year for the Redbirds has ignited his teammates in their run for the NL Central crown. Tonight, another rookie, Bud Smith, already the owner of a no-hitter this season, takes to the mound, facing the hapless Pirates next on WB11. The Cardinals at PNC Park in Pittsburgh have yet to lose. They have dominated the Pirates this season. They're 10-2, and now they have won 8 straight, and they lead in the wild card race. Alongside of Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Once again, welcome to Cardinals baseball. The Cardinals have won 8 straight. A reason they're rolling? Starting pitching.
Oh, that's right. Starting pitching sets the tempo, and the Cardinal starters have been doing an outstanding job. Dave Duncan couldn't be prouder of Matt Morris and the rest of the guys. The staff ERA through this last 6 road games, just over 1. The starters ERA is even better, just over 1. These guys are really doing the job.
Simply put, they have been dominating on the mound, and Bud Smith, the young rookie left-hander, will make the start for St. Louis. He has won 2 straight, and in those 2 straight, that includes a no-hitter. He went 7 innings in his last start. We'll take a quick timeout here in Pittsburgh. That man may be the MVP in the National League. For certain, he's the Rookie of the Year. Albert Pujols in the lineup tonight. Cardinals and Pirates comes your way next. Well, the Pirates have taken the field, and the Cardinals are looking to make it an 11-2 mark against Pittsburgh, and the Cardinals just continue to roll, as we mentioned in our open, as Tony La Russa and the Redbirds look for 9 straight here tonight. Remember, already earlier this season, they did win 10 straight at one point. A look at Tony's lineup tonight. Kerry Robinson will lead things off, followed by Polanco, then Drew. Pujols, another 5 RBI game last night. Edmonds, Paquette, Renteria. Barrero's back with the team. He's behind the plate. Bud Smith is on the mound for St. Louis. He'll hit 9th. And on the mound, our Chrysler Jeep starter for the Pirates, right-hander Todd Ritchie.
It's hard to believe that he started the season 0-8, and now with one more victory here, he would even at 500. He has been spectacular here at home. 8-0, 1.97 ERA in his last 10 starts in Pittsburgh.
That is hard to believe that he started this season 0-8, and he has a chance tonight to go to 500 with a victory against the Redbirds. Behind him defensively, it's brought to you by Dobbs. Giles is in left. Hermanson gets a start in center. Wilson in right. Ramirez is at third. Jack Wilson at short. Lopez gets a start. He's at second. Kevin Young at first. Behind the plate, the all-star Jason Kendall. Let's go back to Mr. Ritchie, who got off to that terrible start, but now 11-12 with an ERA of 4.31, and since the break, he's 6-3.
Well, the biggest part about it is the fact that he has 4 complete games, a couple shutouts, including a 1-hitter against the Royals. He also shut out Cleveland Indians. He has a very good sinking fastball, and the Cardinals are going to try to elevate that. They put in a lot of left-handed batters, and they figure that is going to be one of their big weapons.
And one of those
have defeated him already twice this year.
And one of those left-handed batters is Kerry Robinson. Robinson, a start tonight. He's 0 for his last 6 and 0 for the series. He pinch hit last night and flied out to left, hitting .287 on the year. Robinson, Polanco, and J.D. Drew as we start this game at 7:05 here in Pittsburgh. Third baseman Aramis Ramirez way in on the grass, playing the bunt from Robinson if he elects to do so. He shoots this one into right center field. Wilson back. He is there along with the center fielder Hermanson, and he makes the play. At the last second, Hermanson makes that play for out number 1 here in the first.
Well, they got Craig Wilson out in right field, and even Hermanson, a couple guys that provide a little bit of power. Wilson really is more a catcher first baseman, and he looked like it, almost trying to get in the way of his center fielder, but he does avoid contact, and there's 1 out.
Placido Polanco hitting .320. First pitch to him, fouled back. In his last 10 starts at PNC Park here at home for Todd Ritchie, he's 8-0 with an ERA under 2. He had a 17 consecutive scoreless innings pitched on his home turf, snapped against the Cubs in his last start. 0-2 on Polanco, who's playing second base tonight for the injured Vigna, who may be back tomorrow night. Drew is on deck. 1 out, nobody on. We're just underway here in the first. It's sharply to third. Ramirez an easy play. made it tough. Young off the bag, but applies the tag to the bag, and there's 2 away.
Ramirez kind of a nonchalant thrower there. He has 23 errors on the season. And Kevin Young with a little nifty footwork, you know, kind of that little flip. And when you do that, not getting on top of it, the ball will sail on you. And there you see Kevin Young having to apply the tag. So he's an outstanding young player, but played with a little more intensity.
Tatis used to do that all the time.
Oh, yeah. And it'll get you in trouble.
J.D. Drew, pretty impressive numbers, but overlooked last night was the play by McGuire when Klein was in. And a shot off the bat of Giles, a diving stop to save 2 runs. And then J.D. cutting a ball off in the gap to keep the game tied. Those 2 plays really overlooked because of the Pujols grand slam.
And J.D. did have a nice night offensively, reaching base 4 times with a double, single, 2 walks, and an RBI.
1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs and nobody on here in the first.
Mitchell Page said the lefties are going to have to do a lot of damage, and hopefully early against Todd Ritchie.
Two and two.
There's Mitch. Now, because if Ritchie gets going, they'll pound that sinker into the ground. He also has a split finger changeup, pretty good breaking pitch, like the changeup.
It was, and Drew is out in front. Weak ground ball to Kevin Young in a 1-2-3 inning for Todd Ritchie, who's trying to even up his mark at 500. To the bottom of the first we go, no score. No score between the Cards and Pirates. To the bottom of the first we go here at PNC Park. A look at the Pirates lineup. A little different look here tonight. Chad Hermanson will lead things off, then Jack Wilson, Giles, Ramirez, Kendall, Chad Wilson, Young, Lopez, and Ritchie on the mound for St. Louis. Part of our Chrysler Jeep matchup. Bud Smith, the young left-hander, just 21 years of age.
Well, 5-2. He's looking to win for the 3rd time. The Cardinals have won each of his past 3 starts and 5 of his last 6. And you see the innings there, 76 plus. He had thrown 108 innings in the minor leagues, and that's something of a little bit of concern, but doesn't appear to be wearing down.
A look at the defense behind Bud Smith here tonight, brought to you by Dobbs. Robinson gets the start in left, Edmonds in center, Drew in right, Paquette, Renteria on the left side of the infield, Polanco, Pujols on the right side, and Eli Marrero behind the plate, Smith on the mound. There's Chad Hermanson, and the first pitch is taken for a ball from Bud Smith. Bud has worked 6 or more innings in 8 of his 12 starts. Of course, he had the no-hitter against San Diego and worked 7 innings in his last start. That's out of play to even the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. And that was a win over Milwaukee. And the first game back from the tragedy, a 2-1 win as he went 7 innings and allowed 3 hits and threw 84 pitches. Hermanson, Jack Wilson, then Giles. The Pirates half of the first.
Hermanson, a #1 draft pick for the Pirates, 10th overall in '95, and still trying to make an impact. He's a high school player and one of the top prep players in the country.
The 2-1 from Bud Smith. What's a nice change up there, 2-2.
Bud defeated the Pirates earlier this year. But they have some power in this lineup to try and take him, beat him up.
Strikeout to start the game for Bud Smith. Hermanson caught looking on the inside corner. Let's take a look at the AutoZone division standings. Only 14 games left for the Redbirds. They're 3.5 back in the Central. And Chicago and Houston will play today. And the wild card, they're 2.5 in front of Chicago, 3 in front of San Francisco. San Francisco will hook up with San Diego later tonight. You're wondering about Arizona and Los Angeles. That's in the 9th. A 3-1 Arizona lead in that game was Randy Johnson against Kevin Brown, the 2 starters. What a pitching pairing that is. Fly ball right center. Edmonds has it. Ball just kind of hung up for him, and he ran under it. 2 away.
Jack Wilson's been hitting a lot of balls hard, and
Right to Jim.
well, they're throwing a lot of pitches up and away to him, and he's putting a good piece of the wood on it. But that time it's just a harmless fly ball for an out.
Here's Giles, probably the best man in their lineup. 35 home runs. That 35th was a big one yesterday off of Darryl Giles. Tied the game up. At that point, it made it 4-4. Cardinals then took the lead 5-4. Pirates tied it up, and then Pujols, dramatic grand slam in the ninth. Fights this one off, but Renteria is there and makes the play. So 1-2-3 inning for Bud Smith and a good start. We'll move to the second. What will Albert Pujols do tonight? He's due to lead off when we come back. Hey, Cardinal fans, every Friday during the season, as you know, it's Busch Bash Night at the ballpark. You can come to the Southwest Airlines Family Pavilion every Friday throughout the season. Only a couple left for a pregame party featuring live bands, former players, and a chance to win tickets. The Busch Bash at the ballpark. That'll be this Friday night. Here's Albert Pujols. Pujols, Edmonds, and Paquette here in the second, no score.
And before the game, I asked Tony La Russa, of all the players he's had or seen,
there's a base hit for Albert. I said the first hit of the game.
I asked if Pujols was having the best rookie season he's ever saw. And let's watch last night, the grand slam in the ninth inning. His third game-winning RBI this week and 20th overall. Tony La Russa said Albert Pujols is having the best season, period, of any player he has ever managed from start to finish. And then, of course, put a disclaimer. He said, if he continues it the next 2 weeks, sure. But that's a heck of a statement.
Yeah. Think about some of the teams that he's managed. Those great Oakland teams, the White Sox team that he took into postseason play.
Oh, he had
Dwyer's 70 season.
The Bash brothers. You know, Canseco's 40-40.
Exactly.
Ricky Henderson, all of his illustrious years. Carney Lansford hit .330 and won a batting title. I mean, that's a tremendous statement.
I can only really remember 2 weeks, and it was right before the All-Star break, in which Pujols was slowed a bit and not playing to his standard that he's shown that he can play at. I remember we were talking on a pregame show, and you and Mike Shannon had said, you know, the reason that you have to wait to judge him is watch him fail a little bit and see how he responds. Well, he's responded in a big way.
Yeah, you know, you step on your chin and drag something from 2 weeks to 2 months. But I think also that part of the reason why he struggled there for a bit was that was the time when J.D. Drew was out and not having that little bit of protection. But for the most part, he's had very little protection.
2 balls and a strike on Jim Edmonds. Fair enough to say now you have to consider him a candidate for MVP, Albert Pujols.
Absolutely. And
some people will say, you're talking about protection. You know, Sosa didn't really have much until McGriff got there, and he's put up great numbers. And you think about Gonzalez, Pujols' numbers are right there with him.
But as some guys are falling by the wayside in that, his numbers are skyrocketing.
Yeah. Tailing fastball misses. Low and in, and it's a full count on Edmonds. Paquette on deck. No score here in the second with Pujols at first. Like we said last night, if you hit 70 home runs and hit close to 300 and have the amount of walks that Mark McGwire had in that 98 season and everything that he did, if you can do all that and not win the MVP because your team doesn't get into postseason play, then that should be the formula for this season as well. Because the Cardinals are going to go to postseason, it looks like. And a big reason why is Albert Pujols. And if the Cubs and Giants don't, look somewhere else. That's ripped down the line. That's a fair ball. Pujols was off and running. Around second, he's going around third. Edmonds on his way to second. And the Cardinals on their way to a 1-0 lead. Poole scores the first run of the game, but it looks like he's limping a bit.
Well, they catch a little bit of a break. He's limping a little bit. Craig Wilson, we talked about, he's a first baseman catcher. He's playing right field, and his defense hurts the Pirates. Now he has to go into the corner, and he had a little trouble playing the carom. So you see, that's what Oquendo saw. He saw that there was not a clean exchange from the carom off the scoreboard to the glove of Craig Wilson. He decided to send Albert home, and it was the right decision to make. After he crosses, when you see him come up limping ever so slightly. And remember, he's had some leg problems that he's had to contend with of late. And hopefully, being only 21 years of age, a little breather and he'll come back.
Paquette pops this one up. That's going to get out of play. Jim Edmonds now with RBI number 99, one away from 100 for the Redbird center fielder. And again, the Cardinals have jumped out to the early lead and trying to beat up on teams that they have to beat up on, and that's the Pittsburgh Pirates certainly in that category.
Well, and you've got to remember, Lloyd McClendon told me yesterday, because of the injuries, he said, I have only one starter that is of major league quality, and that's tonight.
They traded away Schmidt. They've had Cordova on the DL, Chris Benson on the DL.
It's been a tough season here, but they're going to weather the storm. But Richie, there's been 65 major league pitchers that started out 0-8 or worse. None of them gotten to 500.
Paquette jammed and lines out to second, and Mindy Lopez. What's on Tap is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. We'll come your way tomorrow at 12:30 here on WB11. What's on Tap brought to you by Bud Light. After tomorrow, it's off to Houston. 3 big games against the Astros, all those games on Fox Sports Net. So Paquette trying to move Edmonds over, lines out to second. And here's Renteria with one away.
Renteria's hit safely in 35 of his last 45 games, a .327 average, including 2 hits last night.
Guerrero on deck, and then the pitcher Bud Smith. Cardinals with a lead of 1-0. More total bases for Albert Pujols. He's closing in on another mark.
Closing in on Dick Allen. He's 11 more to tie Dick Allen's 64 National League record.
Renteria skies this one into right center field. Hermanson back. Wow, what a play near the wall and on the track. Edmonds was tagging up, and he'll stop at third. Play behind him, and he's safe. So a good play by Chad Hermanson in center. And Edmonds, good base running, tagging up from second. Because either way, if that ball gets down, he's going to score.
Well, look at Jimmy. He knows out there in center field, he knows that ball is either going to be a home run, it's going to be caught, or it's going to carry him off the wall, and he's going to be able to score. He rounded the bag a little bit too far, but got back to the bag before the throw.
It's up to Marrero with 2 outs. And Edmonds at third.
Danny, so many times guys really don't watch the flight of a ball, and if they're out there at second base and they go more than halfway, but on a ball like that, it's either going to be a home run, it's going to be caught, or you're going to still be able to score because the guy's running full steam away from home plate, and so go back and tag up. Even if the ball gets down, you're probably going to score because it'll carry him away from the outfielder.
1 ball, 1 strike on Eli Marrero with Bud Smith on deck.
See where he's already at the bag. He's got a good read on it. It's either going to be caught or something like that. Instead of being halfway, race back there, and then all that wasted motion. Then he starts his turn. You saw him halfway. He makes that little banana peel so he can get a good turn around third and come home if Oquendo chose to do so.
3-1. First base is open with the pitcher on deck.
Congratulations.
Around the plate, though.
To the new papa. The little girl, Abigail. 6 pounds, 13 ounces, and he thinks 22 inches long.
He thinks, huh?
Yeah.
He doesn't know?
I think he's got other things on his mind, yeah. He said she's long.
Full count on Eli with 2 outs. Jim Edmonds at third. A 1-0 St. Louis lead. Eli slaps it the other way. Wilson going back, and he'll make the play. So Edmonds left at third. He's the first man left on the base pass tonight. Cardinals behind his double lead it 1-0. Inside the numbers, the head-to-head matchup between the Cards and Pirates. It's brought to you by Bank of America in St. Louis this year. 10-2 against the Pirates, and they've yet to lose here at PNC Park.
They just play great baseball, and you know, you have to dominate against clubs like the Pirates. They've had so many injuries, the second division team, and we will have to play them again in St. Louis next weekend, and they are really terrible on the road. They are 32 games under 500 on the road.
Bud Smith back to the mound here in the bottom of the second. Now pitching with the lead. 1-run lead for St. Louis. Aramis Ramirez, the third baseman for the Pirates, leads things off. Ramirez, Kendall, then Craig Wilson. The Pirates have lost 10 straight to the Cardinals in Pittsburgh. Their last victory came in May 19th of 2000. And 52 on the road, and their final 9 games will be away from PNC Park. Two balls and a strike on Ramirez. Mets popped up right side. Pujols there and makes the play. Doesn't matter where you put Albert Pujols, he's going to play defense adequately. Not great, but he's adequate, and at first he's above.
You know, that's what I was going to say, that you know, he's the third baseman, but I think at first base he's played his best defense. And maybe it's not fair because we really haven't seen him consistently at third.
I agree with you. First base is probably his best position defensively.
And I think ultimately that's where he will end up.
There's Jason Kendall. He batted leadoff last night. He's the number 5 man in their order tonight.
Well, in 30 games batting from the 5th spot in the batting order, he's batting .355.
Played a little right, a little left field this year. And also a tremendous catcher behind the plate. He's had a down season, and you can see that left thumb of his is taped up pretty heavily. He's had problems with that all season long. Sticks the bat out, just got a piece and almost hit Craig Paquette with the bat.
Well, Bud Smith, he can fool you with changing speeds, turning things over, but in order to do that, it's still the fastball is the pitch that sets everything up. And he's going to have to change locations and change the plane in and out, up and down.
Has Kendall in the hole with a ball and 2 strikes. Craig Wilson on deck.
He sort of starts out with an open stance, and then he'll stride right towards the pitcher, so sometimes you can jam him.
A lot of discussion that Kendall's going to need surgery on that thumb after the season. Here he grounds out to short. That's a nice play by Renteria. That was not easy on that short hop. And he made a nice play at short for the second out.
Now you see they're going to kind of work on the inner part of the plate, and you see how he strides into it, so he got that movement. Kind of missed with location, but he still got the end result, the ground ball in the infield.
And it's up to Craig Wilson. He pinch hit last night's ball game. and hit a ball to the deepest part of the park. 405.
Any other part of the park, it's a home run. This guy has 6 pinch hit home runs on the year. He's got a lot of power, and they say the ball moves very well out into right center. So you really want, he's got an inside out stroke.
Bud Smith looking for his 3rd victory in a row. He's 5-2 on the year with an ERA of 3.40. The 1-0 pitch. Ripped into right. Drew going back. Looking up, and it's gone.
That's his power stroke right there.
Just got over the wall. Wilson with his 11th home run and ties this game up at 1 apiece.
Well, that is exactly a perfect way not to pitch it. He likes to get that ball out there. See where his hands are, and he has power to right field, and that is exactly where they sit. This is right in his wheelhouse.
405 last night was an out, and 321 over the fence. A home run tonight. Here's Kevin Young with 2 outs and nobody on. He pops it up. Right side. Pujols will give it a look, but that's out of play.
You go to Boot Stade after the game and you say, that was exactly where not to pitch Greg Wilson.
Yep.
They've seen him when he was at Nashville. Boots, one of the coaches from Memphis, that's here with the club right now, doing some batting practice.
2-1 on Kevin Young, hitting .233. High fly ball left field. Robinson camps under it and has it. Well, the game is tied back up after 2. As we head to the 3rd, it's 1-1. Bud Smith's reaction to that home run. He couldn't believe it. Wilson, the home run, is 11th. It's 1-1. Well, the voyage is over. Star Trek Voyager makes its final journey tonight following the Drew Carey show. Join the crew for the series finale tonight on WB11, Star Trek Voyager. Here's Bud Smith to lead things off in the 3rd. He's 3 for 22 to start his major league career at the plate. Hitting .136 with no homers, no RBIs. The 0-1 pitch from the right-hander, Ritchie. 0-2. Smith, then Kerry Robinson and Placido Polanco. 1-1 game. Bud has shown that he can handle the bat a little bit. Ground ball to short. Jack Wilson is there, and an easy play. 1 up and 1 down.
Hey, Danny, you know, the Cardinals have a couple of the greatest switchboard gals in the whole wide world. You know, Marilyn Matthews and also Janella Burgess. Well, Janella, she's always informing people how to get announcements on the air and everything like that. Shame on Janella. She forgot her own son to tell her son, Roderick Burgess, age 13, who was earlier this month, but we want to wish Roderick a happy 13th birthday. So that'll never happen. Janelle will never forget how to do this again.
Here's Kerry Robinson. 0 for 1 with a fly out to center his first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Doug Stanton, we did not do the game on Thursday night, tells me that they have some of the best ballpark food here at PNC Park. And he would know.
He would know.
The graphics guru. 2 balls and a strike on Kerry Robinson.
A man that's never mixed in a steak.
Three and 1 on Robinson. Polanco to follow. One out walk to Carey, who has 9 stolen bases on the year. So good speed at first and a good chance for Polanco and the Cardinals to get something going there with that speed. One out hit and run here. The great speed of Kerry Robinson and the bat control of Placido Polanco. Third baseman Ramirez is even with the bag. Outfield shallow and straight away. First pitch is taken for a ball. Polanco, his first time up, grounded out to third. He's 0 for 1.
You know, Polanco, Pujols, Morero, J.D. Drew, Matt Morris, Bud Smith, all these guys came through the Cardinal organization. Nearly half of the current players. And today, Walt Jockey announced that Mike Jorgensen, the club's director of player development, has been appointed as special assistant to the general manager, effective immediately. So congratulations to Mike Jorgensen.
That ball almost got away on the pickoff move by Ritchie, and it hit Robinson and just stayed right there.
Yeah, see, that would have gotten by Young, gone down in the corner, and with Carey's speed, he would have ended up at least at third. So the Pirates catch a break.
1 ball, no strikes on Polanco. Plenty of room to the right side. Carey's off and running. Throw down to second. Not in time. Robinson with stolen base number 10.
That was much closer than what I thought it would be.
Looks like Kendall double pumped.
Yeah, he double clutched and double pumped, and he's only thrown out 23% of runners to begin with. So not getting a clear grasp of it, you would have thought he would have been safe by plenty. And the bottom line is he's safe.
He's in scoring position.
Right.
Here's Polanco trying to make it 10 straight games he's hit safely in. Breaks his bat. Robinson back to second, 2 away.
Now watch here. He reaches for the ball, then he loses the grip on it. Had to stop a little bit, reset his fingers, all in midair, and that's the difference in him picking up his 10th steal in 12 attempts.
So Polanco is 0 for 2, and it's up to J.D. Drew, who grounded out to first. It is only at bat tonight on a changeup. Was back in the first. Drew's 3 for 8 in the series. Last night reached base 4 times. Double, single, 2 walks and an RBI. Hitting right-handers very well. Came into this game hitting them .340. 14 RBIs in his last 22 games. And a big reason why the Cardinals are in the thick of things in playoff contention. Pujols on deck if Drew can reach. The 2-0 pitch. Instead, Ritchie steps off. Briano. That man on deck, he's already picked up an infield hit tonight, scored the only run for St. Louis, and that's Albert Pujols. Turned Drew loose and 3-0 with Albert on deck. They do. He fouls it down the third base line and out of play. J.D. up the middle. That's a base hit. Robinson's going to score easily, and the Cardinals have regained the lead. It's 2-1. J.D. Drew with RBI number 67. A big 2-out hit here in the third.
Well, that's what you have to do. Just put pressure on these guys. Just keep on going. Ritchie, a very good pitcher. Got a good power sinker. But these left-handed batters, most of them are low ball hitters, and you hit that ball hard, some of them will find holes.
So the walk comes back to haunt Todd Ritchie. Inning started with Bud Smith, a ground out weakly to short. He walked Robinson. Polanco grounded out to short and drew the 2-out base hit. Here's Albert Pujols.
Where do they bunch him in the outfield?
Albert was fooled a bit. 0-1.
The right fielder, and I can see all of them are well off the lines, but particularly the right fielder.
They hold it first, so Albert goes the other way, looking at extra bases or base hit. Drew good speed at first. Back safely. He has 11 stolen bases on the year. Hits by direction for Albert Pujols. Mostly to center, 76 on the year.
A lot of gappers in there.
Yep. A lot of doubles. Gets away from Kendall. Drew on his way to second. Safe at second. Looked like the throw had beat him, but J.D. is in there, and he's in scoring position.
Well, J.D. kind of something trigger mechanism where he takes his lead. He saw the ball get away from Kendall. It wasn't that far, and umpire stayed right with the call. You see Jack Wilson took the throw up in front. His hand came up, and J.D. slid underneath the tag.
One and two on Albert Pujols. 125 RBIs. 336 average coming into tonight's action and 36 home runs. A ball and 2 strikes on Albert. He is so tough. He does not give in on any at bat.
Here's the ball, the breaking ball that got away from Kendall. Just scooted a little bit away, and J.D. took off for second base. Kendall made this much closer than I thought. See there where he comes up, the short hop the ball, glove comes up, pop up slide right underneath.
The 1-2 pitch to Albert Pujols. Hangs in there again and fouls another 1-2 offering away. NL leaders during September, and you see Pujols with 22 RBIs.
And one away from tying, I think it's Gonzalez for 23 for the Major League lead in September.
Juan Gonzalez of Cleveland.
Right.
Good play there by Kendall. 2-2, and Pujols, now we talk about it so often, but he does not give at bats away. We've seen twice now in 1-2 pitches, fouled a couple of good pitches away, and that one's in the dirt to even the count up at 2-2.
Yeah, Kendall has a bad left thumb, affects him batting, but that got a little bit of the bare hand, maybe even the thumb on the right hand.
The umpire behind the plate, Mr. Crawford, helping him out, taking some time to get that ball back to Ritchie and let Kendall collect his breath. Drew at second with 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch coming to Pujols with Edmonds on deck. Albert sticks the bat out. That's a base hit up the middle. RBI 126. He just continues to roll. 3-1 St. Louis. He's 2 for 2 tonight. An RBI, a run scored. We may be watching the MVP this season.
Well, remember we show those hits by direction. There's another very tough pitch, and yet he gets enough on it to get it past the infield into center field and another RBI. So 2 for 2 here tonight. Another RBI, 126. Tony La Russa, so far, he can keep his statement intact.
Edmonds would love to go over 100 RBIs here tonight. He has one already this evening. He's at 99.
And if he does so, it'd be the third time in his career. And surprising, even with his 42 home runs last year, he set a career high in RBIs, but it was only 108.
Right.
So with a couple hot weeks, he can pass that.
1-0 pitch to Edmonds. Strike on the inside corner. 1-1. Edmonds had an RBI double back in the second in his lone at bat tonight. And Edmonds really kind of the unsung hero in watching Albert Pujols, the protection he provides hitting behind him in the lineup. One and two on Jimmy.
Jim's last 31 games, he's hit .315, 10 doubles, 10 home runs, and 37 RBIs. Thursday he had a double, single, and 2 RBIs.
Edmonds sticks the bat out. That's a base hit on a 1-2 pitch. Pujols digging around second, but he'll stop right there. So a couple of nice at-bats by the cleanup man and the number 5 man in the order when they're behind in the count against Todd Ritchie, who has very good stuff. First it was Pujols who just stuck the bat out and picked up an RBI, and this time it's Mr. Edmonds.
And sometimes, you know, with 2 strikes, you've got to just make contact, put the ball in play, and when you do that, you never know. Good things can happen. And that is one way to really get under the skin of a pitcher. And remember, Todd Ritchie has to battle every time he pitches in the sense that his team is going nowhere. You got a lot of young players that are just trying to finish out the schedule, and yet he's trying to accomplish something. I mentioned there's been 65 Major League pitchers that started the season 0-8 or worse. None of those guys have finished 500. And he has a chance for the victory here today to be at 500.
Here's Mr. RBI man, Craig Paquette. With runners in scoring position, he's hitting .373 with 2 homers.
And you see, he pitches out away from him, you know, really just trying to make contact. And when you do so,
put the ball in play, and good things have happened tonight for St. Louis. 1 ball, 1 strike on Paquette. With 2 outs and runners in scoring position. .371 with 19 RBIs.
Dan, you know, this has really been Paquette's forte. And I think we've got to re-sign him for next year.
No question. That's fouled away. 1-2. Paquette, 24 RBIs in his last 31 games. At a season high, at least matched his season high with 3 hits last night. Inserted into the top of the order for just the 3rd time this season. He batted leadoff.
Now you re-sign Craig, and maybe you go out and try and find a left-handed hitting left fielder.
1-2 pitch. And Paquette drives this one into deep center. Hermanson going back on the track, leaps and makes the play. Hermanson made it look a little harder than it had to be, but he put it away for the 3rd and final out. It started with the stolen base of Robinson. He was in scoring position. Drew with 2 outs, drove him in. Then Pujols would drive Drew in. 3-1 St. Louis. Bottom of the 3rd, and the Cardinals have a lead of 3-1. Paul LaDuca has hit a 2-run home run to tie the game up for the Dodgers. Then Arizona's taken a lead 4-3. That's in the 11th inning. Lots of wild card implications across Major League Baseball tonight. Philadelphia leads Florida. It's 2-0 in the 3rd. This is Mendy Lopez, the second baseman for the Pirates. 2 balls and a strike. Ritchie, the pitcher, on deck. Then back to the top of the order, and Chad Hermanson.
Mendy was acquired off of waivers from Houston.
A fly ball into left, and an easy play for Gary Robinson. One away.
Notice how once again that bat sounded kind of like it's a broken bat to us. Somebody was asking me about our perch up here, what the view is. I said it's pretty good, but the one thing that is unusual for us is that everything sounds like it's a broken bat.
Right.
And Dave Duncan said, "We got to be down here. We get the home play-by-play on the radio."
Is that right?
So they're sitting in the dugout and they can hear the play-by-play from, I guess, the speakers in the stands. And they said it's kind of a distraction. And apparently when they're saying something that they don't like to hear, they really get upset.
How could you not like it when you haven't lost at PNC Park?
Well, maybe that's what the formula is. Make them mad.
2 outs, nobody on, and here is Hermanson. Struck out looking for the Pirates back in the first in his lone at bat tonight. Showing bunt and fouled away. Cardinals will have Dustin Hermanson on the mound tomorrow.
Wonder how our cameraman is doing out in center field. He had a friend come to work with him today.
Who's that?
Well, it had rain last night, so they put a little cover on the camera, and as the gentleman out there took the cover off, a raccoon came out.
1-2-3 inning for Bud Smith. We're through 3 here in Pittsburgh. It's game 3 of this 4-game set. Renteria to lead things off when we come back. The Allegheny beyond the right field wall here at PNC Park. You're watching Cardinals baseball on KPLR St. Louis, WB11, and the Cardinal Television Network. 3-1, the Redbirds here in the top of the 4th. Sold out here at PNC Park on fireworks night. Here's Renteria. 2 hits last night. Seen his average in the last 45 games at a .327 clip. Overall, he's hit .265, 0 for 1 with a fly out to center tonight. Fights this one off. That's down the right field line. That's a fair ball. He'll dig at least for 2. Wilson comes up gunning. A stand-up double for Edgar Renteria. And the 6th hit tonight for St. Louis.
Now, one of the things that they wanted to do was to try and get Richie to elevate the ball. They also wanted to get the ball out away from him. Now, here is an inside-out stroke, but it accomplishes the same thing, and that ball was laced. And the Cardinals have already beat Richie twice this year. They will also face him next week in St. Louis. So this is their best, and we're swinging the bat pretty well.
The corners will play in for Eli Marrero. Bud Smith on deck. Batista home run, by the way. And now the play at third, safe at third. Renteria is in there. I was mentioning Batista for Arizona, a home run to make it 4-3 over Los Angeles. That's in the 11th. And Renteria standing now at third. Marrero at first, and nobody out for Bud Smith.
Oh, he made a bad mistake. You see, he got all turned around. He never really thought about the runner. Almost looked like he thought he was on first base, and he looked to second. But with that little dribbler, Renteria is going to be running to third right away. Then the defense calls and tells the pitcher to go ahead and throw to third base. See, he looked here like he thought the runner was on first, and then he turned his body and saw that he was between second and third, and then you try and throw across your body. Too late. You've got to get at least one. He made the mistake. You follow through, get the batter.
And a good chance for Bud Smith to help himself here. 3-1 Cardinals, nobody out, first and third. And Bud is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to short. Robinson, leadoff man, is on deck. Think about the folks in the order tonight for St. Louis. You've got good speed with Robinson, Drew, Renteria, and Eli Marrero.
Yeah, one thing right here is they just don't want him to hit into a double play.
1-0 pitch is lined into left field. Giles makes the play. Renteria tagging up, but he'll stop. Will not take a chance. Good play by Giles in left to come on and make the play. And back to third goes Renteria. Tonight's Bommarito Automotive Group leaderboard. Let's take a look at that as Bud Smith is 0 for 2. Best since the All-Star break in the National League. And our Bommarito Automotive Group leaderboard, and the Cardinals playing .660 baseball and 20 games above 500 since the break.
Danny, the Cardinals are at the high water mark, 20 games over 500, and you just saw right there, since the break, they're 20 games over 500.
There's Kerry Robinson with 1 out. First and third. One thing about Barrero, hitting 8th in this lineup, he reaches. It's like having a leadoff man on there. You can do some things with the pitcher due up next and Eli at first. That good speed. He has 4 stolen bases. Robinson up the middle. That's a base hit. Second time he has reached in an RBI. Number 15 for Kerry, and it's 4-1 Redbirds.
Boy, you could just look at the way the Cardinals are just trying to make contact. Remember last week when we just saw it, look, here's another one of these it's kind of a long swing, but he just kind of pops those wrists and hits the ball right back up the middle. But it's not those vicious swings that we saw from the Milwaukee Brewers. This is contact baseball, and it's paying off.
4-1 Redbirds here in the fourth, and Placido Polanco is 0 for 2 and looks at a ball. Placido is grounded out to short his last time up and grounded out to third. Good speed on the bases. Barrero at second. Robinson at first. 2-0. J.D. Drew on deck. This was the guy, when you looked into the starting rotation for the Pirates, that you wanted to get after and have a good game against. Now, you wanted to do it against all of them, but this is the guy that stood out among the 4 that the Cardinals were going to see.
Absolutely. He is their best.
In particular at home, 8-0.
Yeah, 8-0, an ERA under 2 in his last 10 starts here in Pittsburgh. Got 4 complete games, including 2 shutouts. One of them was a 1-hitter that Alisea broke up with 1 out in the 9th.
Cardinals have 7 hits on the night. Runners are going, and the pitch is swung on and lined into a double play. It hit the ground, actually, and from our vantage point, looked like it was a line drive. Instead, with the runners moving, they stay out of the double play. With 2 outs, that'll bring in J.D. Drew.
Yeah, Danny, when you're sitting at 400 feet up in the air, sometimes you couldn't tell. But now they're trying to make contact, hitting down on the ball. And Rich, you get a lot of ground balls. That's why you started the runners, and you avoided hitting into the double play. And let's see if Drew can add the knockout punch.
J.D. had a big 2-out base hit. RBIs last time up. Placido is 0 for 3. Drew 1 for 2. Also scored a run tonight.
Lefty Joe Beimel warming up, so that would be for Edmonds' spot.
J.D. laces this one into center. Hermanson has room and makes the play. Did the Cardinals leave a couple of on? They've left 5 on in the game, but add to their lead. They lead it 4-1. And don't forget, the 7th is also Mark McGwire Bobblehead Day for kids 15 and under. For more information or to order your tickets, call the Ducks Unlimited Ticket Center. 425-0699, 314-425-0699. Bottom of the 4th, and the Cardinals have a 3-run lead. Shortstop Jack Wilson to lead things off, followed by Giles and Ramirez. 1 hit for Bud Smith that he's allowed. And that was a home run to Craig Wilson. He has one strikeout. Has not walked anybody. Two-0.
Well, we've been saying the last two nights that Jack Wilson just keeps on getting balls that are up, out over the plate and hitting them hard. And they continue to pitch him that way.
Does Smith remind you of anybody? I know when he first came up, I heard some folks say John Tudor, a Glavine maybe. Does he remind you of anybody?
Well, I think the reason I don't buy that.
Second hit on the night for Pittsburgh.
And is that I think he has a little better breaking ball than both those guys. But the one thing that is very remarkable is just nothing phases him. And I go back to last Monday when we resumed play, Tuesday when we resumed play, and he pitched after the very emotional ceremony. There's a 21-year-old kid takes the mound and he throws up two perfect innings.
Yep. Hernandez finally reached against him. And through 7 innings, he gave up only 3 hits. Just 1 run. Struck out 5 in that game. Was coming off a no-hitter in San Diego.
Hadn't pitched in 13 days.
Right. 1 ball, 1 strike on Giles. He's got that good changeup. He'll get hitters on their front foot to pop it up. And outs tonight when they do pop it up in the air 7 times.
And this is a very fair ballpark for a pitcher.
320 down the right field line. Deepest part of the park is 410 in left center. The alley there.
But you, even as 320, you have that 21-foot wall.
In honor of Roberto Clemente. Giles smacks this one into left field. Robinson back on the track and puts it away. Air out number 8 on the night.
I'm sure glad you had the confidence to call that one.
That just kept carrying, but to the deepest part of the park.
Well, as we said, it's a very fair ballpark. Up, out, over, away from him, and he gave it a ride. Kerry was right there on the midway on the warning track at the deepest part of the ballpark. Little area out there in left center that where the bullpens kind of meet the stands, and it goes all the way back to 410.
Here's Ramirez. Third baseman for the Pirates. 0 for 1 tonight. Popped out to first in his only at bat.
Leads the ball club with 103 RBIs. Last time the Pirates had a third baseman with how many RBIs? Frank Thomas. I would have thought Hebner would have done it.
Looking at Giles with 35 homers and I say only 88 RBIs. That should tell you what the top of the order has done for Pittsburgh this year. Not much. 2 balls and a strike on Aramis Ramirez. Pirates were really waiting for him to come into his own, and he's done so this year. At least at the plate. Defensively, 23 errors at third. 4-1 Cardinals here in the 4th. Double play would be nice here. Instead, it's a base hit and extra bases. Robinson will play it off the wall. Wilson racing around third. He'll stop right there. He's held up. And it's a double for Ramirez. So second and third, only 1 out as Kendall will step in.
Well, see, that ball's up and it's out over the plate, and he hooks it down in the left field corner. Third base coach holds him up right here, and that's what you really have to do.
Good play by Robinson on the carom. Off the wall and left, and Wilson had to stop at third. So Wilson at third, Aramis Ramirez at second, and here's Jason Kendall, and time is called as Dave Duncan is going to trot out from the Redbird dugout and talk it over with Bud.
We're out here just kind of slowing down a little bit, see what they're, get these two guys together in the right page and make sure they make and execute their pitches.
Now 5-3 Arizona over Los Angeles. Chicago and Houston just underway in the first, no score. Phillies lead Florida 2-0 in the fifth. Mets and Atlanta tied 1-1 in the third at Shea Stadium. Their second game back since the tragedy at Shea.
Atlanta lost and the Phillies win, and the Phils are in first.
Amazing story about the East is the Mets 4.5 games out. What a neat story that would be if they could come back and win that division. One-0 pitch from Bud Smith, taken for a strike from Kendall.
Amazing, Danny. It's a marathon, 162 games, but sometimes whoever's sprinting the best at the end is the one that can carry that momentum right on through.
That's what the Mets are trying to do. The Cardinals, the same thing. Leaping grab by the shortstop, Renteria.
Boy, a little snow cone right there. Everything he had to get up and hold on to that ball, but that's a big out.
Well, there's the NL East standings. Philadelphia half game out, and the Mets 4.5 back. As Atlanta leads it with a mark of 79 and 68. Edgar Renteria just saved the possibility of 2 runs, and that could have made it a 1-run lead for St. Louis off the bat of Kendall. Instead, there's 2 away, and the runners don't go anywhere. And it's up to Craig Wilson, who has homered already tonight for the lone run for the Buccos.
Oh, guess what? They tried to come inside.
Last time, it was an outside pitch, and he went with it.
But the point being is, they told me that is what he likes to do. You've got to think the changeup is going to be a good weapon against him. That's what Bud threw in there. But if you throw a fastball, you don't want it on the outer half of the plate because his natural power is right center.
1-2, right down the middle. He's got that changeup, and then he'll bust that fastball in, and it's coming slower than you think, but it's, for a hitter, they think it's about 100 miles an hour. And he gets Wilson to chase, and the Buccos strand a couple. So Bud Smith does a good job of pitching out of this little jam. We'll move to the 5th inning, and the Cardinals up by 3 runs. Albert Pujols, a big night already as we start playing here in the top of the 5th. He's 2 for 2, 4-1 to Redbirds. Albert with a pair of singles, an RBI, and a run scored. 92 miles an hour on that last pitch, and he's got his average all the way up to 339. Started the night at 336.
Now, it's impossible for him to set or break the Cardinals rookie average mark.
So 373.
373. So, I mean, even if he had a hit all the way out, he couldn't get that many. But a remarkable season.
Listen to these numbers and bear with me as we go down the list of them here. For Pujols, 3rd in batting average right now. And this is not just among rookies, but in the game of baseball. 339. He is just 7 points now behind Larry Walker, and he strikes out for the first time tonight. Home runs, he's 7th. RBIs 4th. Multi-hit game 2nd. 2nd in hits. 6th in total bases. 3rd in doubles. 9th in on-base percentage. 7th in slugging percentage. And 6th in extra base hits. That is unbelievable.
Okay, for the people that don't like him, He's only successful 25% of the time on steals.
So the only negative thing that we could
Only
find.
negative.
We thought we had one last night. No grand slam. And then he changed that real fast.
And the same at bat that you brought it up. Thankfully.
Yes. 0-2 on Jim Edmonds. He's 2 for 2 tonight with an RBI double and a base hit. 1 out and nobody on. But he's got a legitimate shot to win the batting crown. He's 7 behind Larry Walker. 7 points behind Walker. Sosa's running away with the RBI title, but he's got a chance to finish first in a few categories.
Let's just make sure his team finishes first.
The 0-2 pitch to Edmonds, struck him out. It's been contact baseball tonight for the St. Louis Cardinals, hasn't it?
Well, if you look at all the RBIs, you look guys just trying to make contact. It all got started with Edmonds, drove in Pujols. This is J.D. Drew, but guys are really, concentrating on making contact. Even some tough pitchers' pitches. Guys have gone out there and just made sure they centered the ball.
Paquette, line out to right. A quick half inning for St. Louis and a quick inning for Todd Ritchie. To the bottom of the 5th we go. And the Cardinals lead it 4-1. In the box. Sold out crowd here in Pittsburgh on fireworks night. Game 3 of this 4-game set. And the Cardinals have a lead of 4-1. Kevin Young will lead things off for the Pirates in their half of the 5th. They have just 3 hits. Bud Smith pitched out of some trouble last inning. After a single by Wilson and then a double by Ramirez, and he got out of the inning. 2-0.
Kevin has only 2 hits in his last 20 at-bats, and I guess it says something about your ball club when he leads the team with 15 stolen bases.
Rips that one foul.
Ooh, very close. Eric Cooper, the third base umpire, with the call.
What a wild game tonight between Arizona and Los Angeles. The final now, it's 6-5. The Dodgers come back and win it.
I kind of thought from the naked eye that this was a fair ball. And last night we had a ball that Kendall hit on the first base chalk line. That looked like it was right on the chalk line also. But as we said last night, we'll give the umpire the benefit of the doubt. He's the closest one.
The 2-1 to Young. That one is ripped but pulled away by Paquette. Robs him of a base hit.
Well, you really have at third base, it's a reactionary position. You're basically one step and a dive. And pretty good execution there by Craig.
Brings in the second baseman, Mendy Lopez. Fly to left. And his only at bat tonight. And looks at a breaking ball low and in.
Yeah, I think we got your audio was kind of, people may not have heard what you said there, but a crazy game in LA is 3-1, and then LeDuc did a 2-run home run to tie it 3-3 in the ninth. Then the Arizona took a 5-3 lead, and LA comes back and wins 6-5.
It's a chance to separate yourself. Some of the teams that are beating up on each other. There's a base hit for Lopez, the 4th hit tonight for the Buccos. This date in baseball history is brought to you by our good friends at Schnucks. As Lopez will stand at first with 1 out. September 22nd, 1959. Stan the Man gets 5 hits and 5 ABs for the 4th time in the season, setting a National League record back in 1959 to stay in baseball history, Cardinal history, brought to you by Schnucks. Here's Todd Ritchie, the pitcher, who flied out to center. First time up. He squares, and Smith, a throw over to Albert Pujols.
Lopez looking in, trying to get the sign from third base coach.
Let the win Los Angeles now 3 games back in the West. Ritchie gets the bunt down. Morero gets the second out at first with Pujols covering. Sacrifice is good, 2-3, and that'll be up to Chad Hermanson, the leadoff man, with 2 outs and Lopez at second.
Here he just deadens this ball perfectly. Gets the runner over there with ease. There are 2 outs, though. And Hermanson 0 for 2 on the night and 5 for 33 this year at the major league level.
Struck out looking and flied out to center. 0 for 2 on the night. Looks at a strike from Bud Smith.
You never have anybody standing around. There's a place for everyone. And watch Polanco. The second baseman gets all the way over here to back up. A lot of times that second baseman doesn't know if that first baseman's going to be charging or not. So he initially thinks he's going to be covering first. And then if the first baseman stays near the bag or able to get back, then you back him up.
1 and 2, and watch out. That was a rope hit into the seats.
Obviously hit a seat to tear him out like that, but that could have done some damage. Or hopefully it was just a seat.
The changeup of Bud Smith, you'll see a lot of hitters pull the baseball like that, pull it foul, as Hermanson just did. 2 and 2. Cleveland a winner over Minnesota today, so now the Twins 6 games out and all but over in the American League Central.
Jim told me he hit his 48th home run.
2-2 pitch, ground ball up the middle. Nice play by Renteria. Throws and got him. What a play by the Redbirds shortstop. The Pirates again strand a man. They've left 3 on the night. And the Cardinals showing some good leather in this series. Renteria adding to that. 4-1 Redbirds. Renteria to lead things off here in the top of the 6th, and the Cardinals lead it 4-1. Looks at a strike from Todd Ritchie. Renteria doubled back in the 4th. Lead that inning off and scored. The RBI by Kerry Robinson. And he's also flied out to center. We'll take a look at our Suntrip Automotive Family Trivia question in a moment.
Here we have an interesting one coming up for you.
One away. And here it is, that interesting trivia question brought to you by Suntrip. What were the Cardinals known as prior to 1900?
This is interesting, and I know the answer.
Jenny, Tom, Karen, and David, the Schwartz family from Belleville, Illinois. The Perfectos, by the way, the answer for our trivia question. They are in attendance here tonight. Good play by the shortstop, Jack Wilson. Throws out Eli Morero. They want to say thanks to their friend Jeannie Jackson, who's taking care of their cats while they enjoy baseball here in Pittsburgh.
Tidbit, Dolores Dalton and Jeff Kramer from the left field bleachers in St. Louis want to say hi to all their family and friends and to Mr. Kramer's students at Trinity Lutheran in Edwardsville.
Well, Bill Ortega will pinch hit for Bud Smith. So Smith is done, and we get a look at Ortega. T.J. Matthews throwing in the Redbirds bullpen.
Ortega was a Cuban defector that's been in the system now for a few years.
Hyde chopper to short. Wilson guns him out. 1-2-3 inning for the right-hander. 4-1 St. Louis. Let's take a look at our Edward Jones quote quiz. Cardinal fans, do you know who said, "I want to be remembered as a ball player who gave all he had to give"? You know the answer. Go to www.edwardjones.com/quote quiz and play our quote quiz contest.
Yeah, we can't give you the answer.
That may be a hint, though.
But
it might be a hint.
It's a prominent former Pirate player.
T.J. Matthews will take over for St. Louis. He is unscored upon in 6 games with the Cardinals this season, 8 2/3 innings. This will be his 7th appearance out of the bullpen for St. Louis, and the 31-year-old right-hander has been doing a real good job out of the bullpen since being recalled from Memphis.
Yeah, he's only allowed 3 hits in those 8+ innings and kept opponents to a 1.03 average. TJ did pitch. He picked up that victory with a career-high 4 1/3 perfect innings and matched his career best 5 strikeouts. That was against L.A. on September 9th this month.
Last season for Oakland, TJ had the highest ERA among all Major League relievers. It was over 6. And opponents hit .303 against him, but he has really got back on track with the Cardinals. When he was down in Memphis, he did a great job down there. ERA in 15 games that was under 2, and that is carried over to the big league level. Jack Wilson to lead things off, and he looks at a ball. Wilson is 1 for 2. Flied out to center and also singled. Wilson, Giles, and Ramirez.
He's had a good slider since he's come back up. Fastball there.
TJ struggled with Oakland this season in 20 games. He's 0-1 with an ERA over 5. Grew up a Cardinals fan and absolutely loves to be back in St. Louis. Gets the ground ball off the bat of Wilson. 1 up and 1 down. Good pick by Pujols at first. Or if you need to sell your vehicle, avoid the classified ads. You go straight to carsoup.com. The best way to sell your car is carsoup.com. Log on today.
TJ and his wife Kelly, they maintained their home in St. Louis, and so it was real easy when the Cardinals picked him up to come right back home.
There's Brian Giles. 0 for 2 with a pop-up. He's also fly to left. He popped up short his first time up. At home run number 35 last night. He flied to deep left in this game. Close the book on Bud Smith. 5 innings, 1 run, 4 hits. That 1 run, a home run by Craig Wilson. He struck out 2 and did not walk anyone.
You know, they're still trying to be very protective of Bud's, arm and his inning total. He's going to be right around 190 innings for the year when you take his AAA numbers and add it to his big league numbers. But doesn't seem to be wearing down.
Another strong performance by a starting pitcher. The Cardinals have a National League leading 67 wins by their starters this year. 2 outs. Giles 0 for 3, and that's a key there. You get that man and you got a chance to win. It's up to Ramirez, who has doubled tonight.
Well, the heart of the order is going to come up again in this ball game. And hopefully there'll be nobody on base, and we'll still have at least a 3-run lead.
Cardinals have won 8 straight. Coming into tonight's game, outscored the opposition in those 8 games 59-19. On a Bud Smith's 15 outs, 10 of those were in the air. So the change up again working here tonight. 91 miles an hour there from T.J. Matthews. Look back to a season ago, the Cards were in first place. They were 87-61 after 148 games. Had an 11-game lead in the Central. Where was that pitch? 1 ball, 1 strike. Kendall on deck.
Got the veteran Jerry Crawford behind the plate, and I think that's the first time either one of us has ever questioned the pitch tonight, so good job.
Easy inning for TJ. A 1-2-3 inning. TJ Matthews. To the 7th we go. Top of the order due up for St. Louis. Well, it's easier than ever to buy Cardinals tickets this season. Log on to STLCardinals.com, the official source for Cardinals tickets. STLCardinals.com. Connect with it. Top of the order for St. Louis. Kerry Robinson will lead things off here in the 7th. Robinson, Polanco, and Drew. Kerry was the last man to get a hit against Todd Ritchie, tonight's starter for Pittsburgh. Little chopper towards second. They'll make everything close. 1 up and 1 down.
This is what the Cardinals were afraid of, that all of a sudden Ritchie would get into a groove and get all these ground ball outs.
Set down 9 straight. Here's Polanco, who is 0 for 3 against Ritchie. 2 ground outs to short and 1 to third.
Got a 9-game hitting streak on the line.
1 out, nobody on, and looks at a ball. Through showed bunt.
3 ground outs from Polanco.
9 of his 19 outs, Ritchie, had been on the ground. Polanco came into tonight's game 4 for 10 in the series. He's now 4 for 13, and he's hit .385 during his 9-game hit streak. Spins away from ball 2. 2-0. J.D. Drew on deck. Dustin Hermanson against Dave Williams tomorrow afternoon. Another ground ball to short. Wilson, nice play. Has to be quick, and boy, he makes a nice play on Polanco. 2 up and 2 down.
He's been almost like a highlight reel. Former Cardinal farmhand has really been one of the bright spots right here for the Pirates. And there you see quick, strong throw. You know, it was almost like he thought Polanco was one of the fastest guys in the game, the way he played that ball, but he got the job done.
There's J.D. Fouls it away. Through tonight. A base hit, RBI, a run scored. Left a couple men on his last time up. 2nd and 3rd, he flied to center. And he's also grounded to first.
Cubs have taken an early 1-0 lead. Still batting in the 3rd over Houston.
It's 2-2 between Florida and Philly. That's in the 6th. Mets lead Atlanta now. In the 5th, 2-1. We told you about Los Angeles. They beat Arizona 6-5. 1-1 pitch to J.D. Drew. Taken for a ball. J.D. is RBIs now with 1 tonight in 7 of his last 9 games. 15 in his last 22. The nucleus is there in the lineup and along with the pitching staff for a long time for this team to be competitive in the Central.
And no suspense in the American League in any of the division races or wild cards, but in the National League, boy, there's some great races going on.
Yeah. I know traditionalists don't like to see the wild card, but how do you not like watching as many teams that have a chance to get postseason play? Every game means something. A base hit by J.D. Drew, and that'll slow down Todd Ritchie, who was rolling along. This game has been moving quite quickly here tonight. Pujols is 2 for 3. Yankees lost today, but they are going to win the East. They're up by 12 games. Seattle is already clinched.
Yeah, Boston lost too. So
Carl Everett is on the trading block. What a shot. One of the great guys in the game, Carl Everett. Cleveland now leads by 6 games over Minnesota. Bud Smith made one mistake tonight, basically, and that was the home run to Wilson. Bill Kyle made a mistake last night. It was a 3-run shot to Giles that tied the game up at 4-4, and Kyle didn't factor in the decision. Bud has a chance to pick up the victory tonight. The Cardinals bullpen can hold on. Tight breaking ball there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The Cardinals have been scoring first 2 games of this series. They've scored 9 each time. 4 here tonight, but you can get Richie out, get into their bullpen, you've got a better chance to do more damage.
1-1 pitch to Pujols, taken for a ball. Albert, 15 RBIs in the first 6 games played this week. That includes tonight. And Albert gets under this one. Pops it up. Shallow left field. Wilson called off by Giles for the 3rd and final out. We'll move to the bottom of the 7th, and the Cardinals lead it by the score of 4-1. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinal Baseball is a production of Bud Sports and an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net. Great camera work by our crew here in Pittsburgh all series long, and a great view of downtown Pittsburgh. On a perfect night for baseball, Jason Kendall to lead things off, followed by Craig Wilson and Kevin Young. Cardinals have a lead of 4-1. T.J. Matthews in his 2nd inning of work as reaps a thrower for Bud Smith. We're in the 7th, 4-1 St. Louis. Tom Mee is our producer tonight. Tom McLaughlin, our director. Doug Stanton on graphics, and Lindsey Polite in the video room, providing many of the great shots that we show you throughout the night. Kendall has hit into some tough luck tonight. Remember Al back in the 4th in what could have been a real dangerous inning. He lined out in a snow cone catch made by Renteria with just 1 out at the time with 2nd and 3rd. That would have scored a couple of runs and made it a 1-run game.
But it was not to be, and so TJ can continue his mastery over the Pirates.
One and 2 on Kendall. Think about Bud Smith and Rick Ankiel and Garrett Stevenson, guys that now you think towards next season, and Kyle and Morris and Woody Williams. The pitching, at least the core of it, is going to be awfully bright next season. The core of the lineup with Drew and Pujols is looking fantastic. Edmonds in there, and Polanco and Vina.
Keep this team intact.
Yeah.
You know, this is a team that really has come together, and they pull for one another. They like each other. There's no clicks, no clashes. It's just all teams.
Kendall's hanging in there. It stays 1 and 2. Sold out here at PNC Park. Fireworks display after the game.
Well, Danny, it showed you that the river shot and looking from our vantage point to the Pittsburgh downtown skyline. This is a wonderful setting.
Kendall shoots it into right center. Edmonds is there along with Drew, and JD takes it for out number 1. Kendall is 0 for 3, and that'll bring in Wilson, who has had the only RBI on the night, a solo home run off of Bud Smith in the second. You have to like what you see from Bud Smith.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Bud, just nothing phases him. You know, I mean, there's going to be some times where he's going to get beat up, but he is, you know, goes out there and just competes.
Wilson towards short. Renteria has made a couple of nice plays tonight. Retires Craig Wilson. 2 up and 2 down.
You don't want to forget that T.J. Matthews retired all 5 men he's faced, but you know, Bud Smith doesn't beat himself, and you know, he gives himself an opportunity to be competitive because he doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. He has a good feel for pitching at such a young age.
Kevin Young is lined out to third, and a good play made by Paquette, and fly to left. From our replay, it looked like he had a double taken away from him down the left field line. Ball that was called foul. Looked like it may have hit the chalk. Instead, he was brought back and then lined out. 2-0. A down year for Kevin Young. Matthews pitched a scoreless inning. Thursday night's win over the Pirates. 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Slider. Edmonds, Paquette, Renteria. 2 up in the Redbirds order in the 8th. And there's the CEO and owner here in Pittsburgh, Kevin McClatchy. Saved baseball here in Pittsburgh. Had a payroll of about $9 million as T.J. Matthews strikes out Kevin Young 4 or 5 years ago, and he saved the Pirates from moving out of town and resurrected this beautiful downtown ballpark. 4-1 St. Louis. Beautiful night and a beautiful stadium, PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Jim Edmonds will lead things off for St. Louis. Cardinals have a lead of 4-1. We're in the top of the 8th. You're watching Cardinals baseball on WB11, KPLR St. Louis, and the Cardinal Television Network. 4-1 Redbirds as Edmonds looks at a strike. He has an RBI tonight. A double, a single, and a strikeout. Paula Reagan, Patty Wood, Sheila Bell, and Karen Condell send greetings to all their friends and family and students back home in Washington, Missouri, tuning in tonight on the Cardinal Television Network. 2-1.
Boy, they pay those teachers a lot of money in Washington.
You bet. First class out here to Pittsburgh, front row seats. 3-1 on the Cardinals center fielder, with Paquette on deck. And then Renteria. Cardinals trying to make it 9 straight. Edmonds, a good job of hitting there, just going with the pitch and stroked it right back up the middle. Hit number 9 for St. Louis tonight. And it's 2-0 Cubs. That's in the 4th. Fred McGriff, a solo home run.
Yeah, Fred had, what, 5 RBIs last night. He's come alive after being, you know, sidelined with a hamstring pull for a while.
Still think if you talk about Lieber, Wood, and Cruz as opposed to the 3 top starters that Houston has, Cubs probably have the advantage in that department. And they're hanging around to make it close enough. They have 9 games straight at home to close the season at Wrigley Field. And that could provide a difference down the stretch. Now 3-0 Hundley.
Yeah, that could get them all the way to 3rd place.
See, there you go again. So negative on those poor Cubs.
Hey, I'm rooting for them tonight.
You have to. They were not back-to-back home runs between Hundley and McGriff. A win tonight and a Houston loss puts you at 2.5 games back in the NL Central. Chicago would stay 2.5 back of the Cardinals in the wild card race if they hold on for a victory against Houston. San Francisco and San Diego just underway. Out west, Paquette, a drive and a deep left center. Hermanson back on the track near the wall and puts it away. That's the first out here in the 8th. Paquette gave it a ride, but Hermanson tracked it down.
He's done fine defensively, but still struggling offensively, as Hermanson mentioned. Enough former #1 draft pick, was a shortstop that put him in the outfield, and seems like he can control that very well. He's had some big home run numbers in the minor leagues, but never hit at the big league level.
Made some nice plays in center tonight. Speaking of nice plays, so is Renteria at short for the Cardinals here tonight. This whole game has just been taken up a notch or two since the All-Star break and really since the trading deadline. 1 for 3 tonight with a double and a run scored. Average creeping towards 270. I think the best way to describe him, he's not afraid.
Well, not only that, but he's also a description that every athlete wants to be called, and that's a money player. He's not afraid when the game's on the line.
Right. Cardinals trying to add to their 4-1 lead. Check on Edmonds. Jim has 4 stolen bases this year and caught 5 times.
The sinker.
The 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Cardinals have some action in their bullpen. Mike James.
Yeah, Mike James, and you might send Edmonds here.
Herrera waits on deck. That's ripped down the left field line, hooking foul. Boy, Edgar jumped on that. 2-1. Dustin Hermanson will make the start tomorrow afternoon. He can match his career high of 14 victories. He has a mark of 13-12, and he's 2-1 against the Pirates this season. That'll come your way at 12:30 once again on the Cardinal Television Network, WB11.
Then we'll go on to Houston.
That will be fun.
I wonder if anybody will be paying attention to those 3 games.
Morris, Kyle, and Woody Williams going for St. Louis.
Of course, that's part of what the Cubs hope, that they're close enough to where the Cardinals and Houston beating up on each other, that they can sneak in there.
See if Edmonds runs here with a count of 2-1. He's not going. The pitch is a strike. 2-2. The Astros will throw Dave Malecki against Morris, Wade Miller against Woody Williams, and Ron Vallone, who's been inserted into the starting lineup and starting rotation against Darryl Kyle. Malecki 6-1. 2-2 pitch coming to the Cardinals shortstop. Stays 2-2 as that's fouled away.
Richie has 2 strikeouts on the evening, and the reason it's such a low total is the Cardinals have done a good job of spoiling off some tough pitches and just staying up there and a short, more compact stroke and making sure they hit the ball.
Renteria base hit into left. Hit number 10 tonight for St. Louis. Edgar, a 2-hit night, a double, and now a single. He's 2 for 4. First and second. 1 out for Marrero.
Remember what we're talking about. No vicious swings, just concentration. Look at the eyes going down to meet the point of contact. And it looks like Richie's night will be through after Renteria's base hit.
Edgar 6 for 12 in the series so far.
Be a double switch here. Looks like Kevin Young's coming out. So is Craig Wilson. Koviak looks like he's going out to right field, and that is Manzanillo coming in to pitch.
So that's it for Richie. We'll take a timeout. 4-1 St. Louis. See the new right fielder for the Pirates. Moving in from right to first, Wilson. Craig Wilson goes from right to first. And taking over on the mound, the right-hander, Jose Manzanillo.
See his numbers appearing for his 66th time. He has 3 wins and 5 decisions. ERA at 3.19. Opponents are only batting .208 against him. He's not allowed a home run here at PNC Park, and he's been charged with just 1 earned run in his last 14 appearances.
Take that even further in the month of August, an ERA of 1.80. And he's been scored upon, as Al mentioned, just 6 times in his last 35 games. So Manzanillo trying to keep it a 3-run St. Louis lead here in the 8th. He faces Marrero. Ground ball, this might be 2. Ramirez on to second, on to first, and they cannot get the speedy Eli Marrero. Renteria went hard into second. Clean play.
Last night we saw Ramirez back up on a ball, and it got by him for an error. Here he lets the ball play him once again, and probably the difference also Marrero's great running speed to keep that from being a double play ball.
Tony La Russa elects to let T.J. Matthews hit for himself here. So Matthews will hit first and third and looks at his strike.
Whether he hits remains to be seen. He's going to stand up there, but he's still looking for his first career base hit.
Runner is off with the pitch. And Eli is safe at second. Second and third. It's a stolen base for Marrero, his 5th on the year.
I really haven't had the opportunity to use Marrero as a running weapon this year.
Last pitch was a strike, and it's 0-2 on T.J. Matthews, trying to add to the Redbird lead. 1-2. Perfect time for hit number 1 in the career for T.J. Matthews, if he can get it here. Manzanillo set. Struck him out. And he hops off the mound after striking out a man that does not have a base hit in the major leagues. 4-1 St. Louis. Cardinals, bottom of the 8th. Mendy Lopez will lead it off. T.J. Matthews has been perfect so far. He'll start his 3rd inning of work here in the 8th. And the Cardinals lead of 3 runs. Lopez looks at a ball. 1 for 2 on the night. Matthews trying to hold on for Bud Smith, who's in line for the victory. There's a strike, 1-1.
TJ's having a lot of fun pitching back here, doing the job. And of course, remember too, there's a lot of scouts watching these games, so you're pitching for your future.
And there's out number 1 here in the 8th. Lopez is 1 for 3.
5 outs to go. TJ's retired all 7 men he's faced, and really in pretty easy fashion.
Mika Wyatt will step in for the first time tonight, part of the double switch last inning. Bats from the left side. The first pitch to Rob. There's a rope into left center. Robinson on the run. A one-hopper off the wall. The one-out stand-up double.
Koviak, who played earlier in this series, he's got some pretty good power, and he shows it right there. He was hitless in his last 6 at-bats since homering on Tuesday, but he had batting .308 in his last 9 games.
They bring in the top of the order. Here's Chad Hermanson, over 3 tonight, hitting under 200 on the year. He struck out looking, fly to center, and also grounded out to short. And that's the first hit against T.J. Matthews, who had set down 7 straight prior to that base hit by the right fielder. There's out number 2.
That's a big out right there, and bad mental approach to hitting.
That's just poor fundamentals and poor baseball. Down by 3 runs, first pitch swinging, and pops it into left, and he's 0 for 4.
You talked to him, and Lloyd McClendon was a hitting coach for the Pirates before he took over as the manager. You talk to any big league hitting coach today, and that's the one thing they'll shake their head at, is sometimes the approach that guys go to the plate, they really question. They're given so much video, so much intelligence, so much information that sometimes they can't compute it.
With 2 outs, here's the shortstop Wilson.
See why the Pirates sought this Cardinal farmhand and really have enjoyed what they have seen from him. He came to the Pirates in the Jason Christensen trade last year at the trading deadline.
One-0 pitch to Jack Wilson. 2-0. Wilson has a base hit tonight. He's 1 for 3.
And Wilson got off to a slow start this year, and they finally got to the point where they sent him out. And Lloyd McClendon said, hey, we just love you. Just go down, get your stroke back, relax a little bit, and you'll come back up here. He drove 10 straight hours to get and showed up the next morning for a day game in AAA, and that's the attitude they like.
3-0. Last thing you want to do is walk Wilson and have Giles come up with a chance to tie the game up. Pirates have yet to walk tonight, but it's 3-0 on Wilson. This is the second time he has faced TJ, so Matthews is around the order at least 1 time so far. There's a strike, 3-1. Steve Klein begins to warm up. Presumably he's set for Giles. James continues to throw in the Redbird bullpen. Three and 1 the count on Wilson. Little ground ball. TJ to first, and will go to the 9th. with a 3-run lead in favor of the St. Louis Cardinals. They lead it 4-1 as we head to the 9th inning. 4-1 Cardinals here in the top of the 9th. The Redbirds trying to hold on for their 9th straight victory and improve their mark to 11-2 against the Pirates this season. The Cardinals have yet to lose here in Pittsburgh during the 2001 campaign.
And a victory here tonight would give them 11 games over 500 in the Central Division and 21 games over 500 for the season.
Cardinals came in at 84-64 at the start of tonight's play. 3-0 Chicago. That's in the 5th inning. They lead Houston. 2-1 Mets over Atlanta. That's in the 6th as Robinson fouls it away.
After tonight, the Cardinals will have 13 remaining games, 6 at home and 7 on the road. And with the victory of those remaining teams, Brewers, Astros, and Pirates, they'd have a combined record of 23-14. Still under 500. 4 wins in 10 tries against the Astros, but we could do something about that.
Up and away, 3 balls and a strike on Kerry Robinson. Robinson, Polanco, and Drew here in the 9th. Leadoff walk by Manzanillo. So the speedy Kerry Robinson will take first. Second time he has walked tonight. He's also scored a run and has an RBI single. Placido Polanco is 0 for 4 on the night and a chance to extend his hit streak to 10 games.
Nice little 2-hopper to the in front of the right fielder.
Lots of room to that right side with Wilson holding Robinson at first. Carried with his 10th stolen base earlier tonight. He's not running, and Polanco bunts it. Manzanillo will get the play at first. Sacrifices those 9 games on the hit streak to move the runner up. Fundamentals are perfect for Placido as he gets the bunt down.
You know, individual accomplishments are all nice, but there's a lot at stake for the team. So you ask a guy, and Polanco more than happy to be the team player that he's always been.
They'll bring in Drew. Pair of base hits tonight for JD. An RBI and a run scored.
See if they don't make a pitching change here. Bring in one of their left-handers. Go back to the sacrifice by Polanco and watch the second baseman. Talk about how second baseman can back up. Well, you can't back up if you're that close. You know, you come over as an insurance policy to be the receiver, the throw at first base, but if the first baseman gets back, then you got to backpedal and get behind him just for in case the ball gets away from him.
Lloyd McClendon will call upon one of his lefties to face Drew when we come back. Scott Sauerbeck will take over for the Pittsburgh Pirates. 4-1 Cardinals with a man in scoring position. Kerry Robinson, and Drew will try to bring him in with just 1 out here in the 9th. This is the 64th time Sauerbeck has appeared. He pitched in last night's loss for the Pirates. Pujols on deck. And the right-hander continues to throw now for the Pirates. JD, a pair of hits tonight. 2 singles.
Earlier in the season, Sauerbeck got off to a horrendous start, and a lot of it had to do with wildness. Walked a lot of guys, but he's turned that around a little bit now, and now he's become a big strikeout pitcher. 74 strikeouts in 57 innings.
The 1-0 to JD. Did he go around? No, he didn't. 2-0. Sauerbeck has been charged with just 3 earned runs in his last 18 outings, an ERA of 1.47, and he's trying to keep it a 3-run St. Louis lead here in the 9th. Drew picked up his 67th RBI back in the 3rd. Good breaking ball there, 2-1. Mike Matthews is also throwing in the Cardinals bullpen. Two and 2 on JD. Jeff Tabaka is also throwing for St. Louis. The 2-2 pitch. Ooh, just missed up and away, and a full count on Drew. Come your way tomorrow at 12:30 here on WB11.
Talked to Dave Duncan, and he said Dave Veers is not available tonight, but he will be tomorrow.
Time off certainly helped him. And that hamstring through. Barely got a piece, and then it caught our umpire.
Dave had 2 bullpen sessions, and then yesterday threw 30 pitches of simulated game. Albert Pujols tries to get his close to the pitcher if he possibly can.
Drew strikes out. There's 2 outs. Well, Albert Pujols is part of our play of the game, and tonight it's brought to you by Budweiser. With a crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer, this Bud's for you. Albert Pujols back in the 3rd with an RBI, just playing contact baseball, bat on the ball, singled up the middle. That drove in JD Drew, and that added to the Cardinal lead at that time. The Cardinals lead it now 4-1. Budweiser in our play of the game. They're going to intentionally walk Pujols here with 2 outs, and the switch hitting Bobby Bonilla on deck, and he'll be greeted by a chorus of boos here in Pittsburgh.
Interesting that Bonilla would be batting for Edmonds. Even though Sauerbeck is tough on left-handers and Bobby, the switch hitter, hits better from the right side, a Gold Glove center fielder, you want in there for the 9th inning.
Bonilla had a big home run earlier this season at PNC Park, and he's greeted with boos by the fans here in Pittsburgh. As Bobby spent a number of years here with the Pirates and some of those great teams under Jim Leyland. Shot left side, good play by Ramirez, and gets the force at 2nd. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th, and the Cardinals will try to close out their 9th straight victory. Tune coming up after the game tonight, WB11 News at 9. Following the game, back home in St. Louis, WB11 News at 9. Jeff Tabaka, the 37-year-old left-hander, will come out of the bullpen and try to wrap this one up. The Cardinals are up 4-1 here in the 9th inning, and Tabaka appearing for the 6th time this season. He worked 1 inning of relief on Tuesday night's game, striking out 2 of the 3 men he faced. Remember, he began the year with the Cardinals, but strained his left elbow on opening day, and that was it for him. And he's worked himself back into shape. Got the arm back in shape down in Memphis, and now back with the Cardinals in the major leagues. Giles, Ramirez, and Kendall for the Pirates in their half of the ninth as the Cardinals try to close out their 9th straight victory.
Well, Tabaka won't close it out. He'll close out Giles. He'll just face the one man, and there'll be Steck Schulte, and hopefully that'll be the last reliever employed by the Cardinals tonight. Tabaka, they really believe that he can pitch in the big leagues. As you see, the Astros have come back. Merced, who's really done a tremendous job, and particularly coming off the bench, former Pirate. He pinch hit, clearing the bases, and ties that game 3-3.
Well, here's Giles. Matthews did a good job in getting Jack Wilson in the 8th to make sure that Giles didn't come up with a chance to tie the game up. Instead, he'll bat here in the 9th with nobody on. And the first pitch, a strike, 88 miles an hour from the 37-year-old left-hander. Great work out of the bullpen by T.J. Matthews. Bullpen trying to hold on for Bud Smith.
Giles can't beat you, but you sure don't want to get him on base. With Tony trying to go with the percentages, the left-hander against the left-handed swinger. And you bring in Steck Schulte for the right-handers. Astros on a fielder's choice, RBI by Biggio, take a 4-3 lead. And the reason why you bring in Tabaka, not Klein, is because this is going to be just one batter for this left-hander. And you still, Tony would have Klein in reserve in case they had somebody coming off the bench like a Morris or Matthews, their switch hitter.
Tabaka did not get that last pitch. 2-1, now 3-1.
Steck Schulte. Yeah. Another way to look at it is if Giles can't beat you, you know, you could have gone just with either TJ, leave him in there, or gone to Steck Schulte, a fresh arm.
3-1 to Giles. Almost hit him. By the way, Edmonds, remember, was pinch hit for. And Saturia takes over in right, and Drew moves from right to center. And that's it for Tabaka. Steck Schulte will take over after the leadoff walk by Tabaka. Giles at first when we come back.
Well, the fireworks barge is all ready. All we have to do is get rid of this last 3 outs. As Steck Schulte will come in for the 62nd time. He has 1 win, 4 losses, 3.76 ERA, 4 saves, 64 plus innings, allowed 10 home runs, and nearly a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. He pitched last night, 1 inning, and had 2 strikeouts and was dominated.
Giles at first with nobody out, and a 4-1 St. Louis lead. We're in the 9th, and the Cardinals are looking to make it 9 straight. Steck Schulte, the 4th pitcher used tonight by Tony La Russa. Bud Smith went 5 innings. Matthews, great work out of the bullpen. There's a strike by Steck Schulte. Tabaka just faced Giles. He walked him. And now it's Steck Schulte.
Well, you've got a 3-run lead. Ramirez cannot beat you. So throw strikes. Don't bring the tying run to the plate.
Kendall on deck. Little tapper back to Steck Schulte. On to second for 1, and that's all they'll get. As Giles went hard into Polanco, and they get the force and the lead man at second. With 1 out, that'll bring in Kendall.
Still, that's huge. You get the lead runner. Now the double play is still in order. It wasn't hit particularly hard, and the ball sails a little bit. Polanco gets on the bag, then it averts the runner coming right down on it. So Sure, you'd love to complete it, but that's not a throw that's going to allow you to get your momentum behind the throw.
6-3 Astros over the Cubs. Bagwell, a 2-run double.
Well, maybe we pick up a game on the Cubs in the wild card.
Here's Kendall, who's had a tough night at the plate, 0 for 3. First pitch is strike, and Stechschulte's come in pumping. Down by 3 runs, the catcher taking a strike. Former All-Star for the Pirates, Jason Kendall. Cardinals trying to improve their mark to 11-2 over Pittsburgh this season. 21 games above the 500 mark. With a victory tonight, they'd be 85-64. With a win tonight, Chicago can now come back. They'd be 3.5 in front of the Cubs in the wild card race. And they would stay 3.5 back in the Central. Kendall shoots it into right. Luis Soteria backing up and makes the play. 2 outs. The Pirates are down to their final out.
Been watching in Craig Wilson, who hit a home run earlier in this game off of Bud Smith in the second inning. He can't beat you also. So you throw strikes, you go right after him. Remember, his power is to right center. Klein is available in case they want to bring a switch hitter, Morris, who's on the on-deck circle.
Strike from Stechschulte. 2 strikes away.
These guys are going up there with approach, taking the first pitch, and Stechschulte's done a good job of making that first pitch a strike.
One strike away.
Cardinals were concerned about this game. Not that they didn't have confidence in Bud, but they had an awful lot of respect for Richie. Bang got 10 hits against him and 4 runs. And once again, pitching, starting pitching and relief pitching is doing its job.
A ball and 2 strikes. Stechschulte set, delivers, struck him out. 9 straight.
Now this ball club, Dan, is just very methodically going right about its business, coming together, and you can tell that they're smelling the victories and they're smelling postseason.
Bud Smith improves to 6-2. Todd Ritchie 11-13. The Cardinals rolling 9 straight victories. They have won 12 of their last 13. A final comment when we come back. Cardinals have won 11 straight in Pittsburgh. They're 11-2 against the Pirates this season. They've won 12 of 13 and now 9 straight victories in a row. They're 21 games above the 500 mark. They're 85-64. They'll go for the sweep tomorrow. Dustin Hermanson looks to match his career high in wins with 14. Will come your way at 12:30. The Cards and Pirates, Dustin Hermanson against Dave Williams, who's 2-6. For Al Rabosky, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Thanks for being with us. Bud Smith is now 6-2 after yet another Cardinal victory. Cardinals roll again, their 9th straight win. They win this one at PNC Park by the score of 4-1, and we'll see you tomorrow.